Okay, this is the Kojima Productions Report with your host Ryan Payton, joined by
Christine Kogure from Online Contents Production.
New member to the KP Report. I don't know, list of special guests.
Hi everyone.
First time guest in the program. Yes. We work in the same building.
Yes.
Here at Tokyo Midtown and at Konami. However, Christine does not work at Kojima Productions. You work at a different department.
Yes, the mobile team at Online Contents Production.
Right. So, and you're working on obviously mobile content, but there is some relation between Kojima Productions and your team because you guys are in charge of producing Metal Gear Solid Mobile.
Yes.
Which is why I brought you here today to talk on the program to talk about Metal Gear Mobile because it's a game that people have been asking about for quite a long time since we announced it.
Good to hear.
At the 20th anniversary, right? And then we showed at TGS.
Right.
And then people complained for the past 2 or 3 months. Why haven't you talked about it at all on the podcast? Which is a valid complaint, but I've been waiting until our schedules kind of align and then I can bring you on the program and we can talk. So
thanks for having me.
Here you are. So just go. Just do it. Let's tell everybody about the game.
Okay, wow, where to start? Well, let's see, for Metal Gear Solid Mobile, it's there's a unique story for this project. And actually, this game experience is unique to the mobile handset platform.
Unique to the platform?
Yes.
So, in other words, you couldn't put this on like the DS or PSP?
No.
Because
it takes advantage of the handset camera, and so which can only be used on the mobile handset. And so I believe that it's used really effectively, and I think it's very fun. Yeah.
You showed it to me when we kind of crossed paths
right,
at the entrance of Midtown at like 3 in the morning.
Right.
And I was like, "What?" And you asked me, "Why are you still working?" And I asked you the same thing. And then I was like, "Hey, how's MGS Mobile coming along, by the way?" And then you had a new build of it.
Right.
And so you showed it to me, and it's coming together really nicely. I was really impressed.
Oh, it's good to hear. Good to hear.
So I mean, and it's a totally 3D game. It's not 2D.
No.
It's not MGS stuck into like a 2D retro setting. It's a 3D game on mobile, which is everybody always says this when they pick up the game, but like, oh wait, mobile phones can actually do this good graphics now. It's pretty incredible.
I was blown away too as to the extent of what mobile handsets are capable of, and I was completely blown away. So,
but the current plan right now is just to release in Japan, right? Is that because obviously a lot of questions that come in? When is this being released in Europe? When is this coming out in the States? What can you say about that? I
can't say much. Right now, as you mentioned, the distribution is for the Japanese market, and there haven't been any decisions made regarding overseas. However, if there is demand and if there is request, well,
So if the demand is there, you guys we'll
do our best because we do want our overseas player to experience this game.
Right.
So we would look forward to that.
Right. So then how does this work? Because and I played the TGS build, and I played that build that you showed me, and it's pretty cool. It looks like we're in Shadow Moses in a way. There's a lot of like industrial style buildings, and again, like it's in totally 3D. You can press up against the wall, and then you can peek out, across the way and check out different. And then there's the radar, and it shows you where the enemies are. I mean, this is classic Metal Gear style gameplay. But is this just a port of MGS, the PlayStation version of MGS, or is it kind of like is it a different approach set for mobile? I mean, how does this work?
Actually, being that it is for mobile and that it will be an experience unique to this handset. For example, one of the features being the camouflage system. I know we were talking about it a little bit earlier.
Right.
But basically, you can use the handset camera to sample colors in the real world and actually use that in the gameplay.
Right. Yeah. You showed me this. It's really cool. So there's so you can change the fatigues, the color of Snake's fatigues.
Right.
Based on whatever texture you take with your real camera in your phone.
Exactly.
And so there's parts in the game, right, where like there's different doors that have different colors on it, and you can't get past like certain areas without having that same colored camouflage.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And this was a feature at TGS, but you can sample different colors and incorporate it into the game.
So in other words, if I had the game with me right now and I took a picture of this really bright orange door that we have here, then that would just transfer onto Snake's suit, and he'll be that same color of orange, right?
Right.
That's really cool. Anything else that's like mobile specific? Anything else you can talk about?
Let's see. It was also in the TGS build as well too, but there's a mini game that uses the camera. So you can also use a key input, but you can actually use the camera and move the camera to play the frequency matching mini game.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, that's another unique function for the
And
for
how
the
does that?
mobile
Can you talk
platform.
about in what cases you have to you go into that mini game, or can you talk about that yet? Like, okay,
That might be considered a detail, but actually, there's also another feature. Let's see, the FPS.
mm-hmm.
You can actually use have an FPS view in the game, and that uses you can use the handset camera as well to control, and when you're in that
cool.
mode.
Wait, so you can actually move? Wait, let me make sure I get this right. So you can move your phone, you hold it,
Right.
and your view is gonna be manipulated. You can manipulate it by just holding your phone.
Right. Right.
It's almost like motion control, in a way.
Right. So as you move the actual handset, it's you can move in the game.
That's really cool.
So you can use that as a targeting.
I hadn't heard about that before. That's really cool. Progress obviously is moving forward on Metal Gear Solid Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
A release date isn't set for Japan yet. However, you can still play it if you, because there's a certain provider that offers like a demo version of it. Or...
Right. Actually, a pre-installed version of the game is available on the W53S, and so it's a little. It can give the users a little taste of the game. It's not. Doesn't have all the functions as the final product. However, on the W53S, Sony Ericsson, you can have the pre-installation version of MGS and Metal Gear Solid Mobile.
So it's a Sony Ericsson phone. It's in the provider's AU, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so just give you an example of like for people in the States who are listening to this program, it's like AT&T or Singular or Verizon or Vodafone or whatever.
Right.
Like AU is one of the providers in Japan. So
right.
I guess if you subscribe with AU and then if you pick up the Sony Ericsson phone, it's going to have it pre-installed. So that's pretty cool. Is that the same demo as that we showed at TGS, or is it different?
Actually, the TGS demo was considerably longer and had more of the functions that you can look forward to in the final version.
Okay, cool. So this is just like a teaser almost in a way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. So again, we don't have a set release date for this title yet, but I know that Mr. Kojima just approved the script, which is quite extensive, I might say. It definitely lives up to the Metal Gear Solid, franchise tradition of having extremely long stories and codec sequences. And in that sense, I think it's very cool. And the story looks like it's coming together. So
yeah, and it's unique to the mobile version. So
right,
very exciting.
Well, unless I'm missing anything, I mean, we can maybe move on. I mean, do you have anything else that you wanted to touch on? Here's your chance to get everybody excited about Metal Gear Solid Mobile, and to get like literally tens of thousands of people emailing and harassing KDUS and KDE. Why isn't this game coming out?
Well, yeah, if as we mentioned earlier, if the demand is there, we'd really love for as many people to have the opportunity to play this game. So yeah. Basically,
just make your voice heard is what you're saying.
Yeah, we'd love to hear them.
Okay, good. So, and how does this work, Christine? You're working here in Konami Japan. Like, what's your job title? I mean, and how does your team work? And yeah, can you maybe talk to the listeners who are wondering, first of all, why do you speak English and all this good stuff? So.
Let's see. I work on the mobile team at Online Contents Production, and I handle a lot of the communications between our branch, our mobile team, and our KDUS and the KDE mobile teams. And so there's a lot of communication and some conference call translations and
right. So that keeps you pretty busy.
Yeah, and it's a good learning experience for sure.
Right, absolutely. Is your sole project MGS Mobile, or are you working on other things too?
Other projects as well too, but Metal Gear Solid Mobile is a big one.
Right. And so then you came over here. We both know somebody, Ken Imazumi, who we've both worked with.
Right.
You worked with him at Konami Hawaii, right?
Yes, he was my boss.
How was he as a boss? I want some dirt on Mr. Imazumi.
Dirt? Well, no luck there. No dirt there.
Because he's listening.
Well, I must say I did learn a lot. And I mean, not in just like, through lectures, but basically like watching, you can learn a lot by watching how someone works. And just by observing that, I learned a lot of values, that I still hold on to today. And I really appreciate the opportunity, that I got when he hired me. And so I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah. Well, he's a tough boss, but he's got a unique style. He's obviously he's born in Japan, but he's spent so much time abroad that he kind of integrates the two different cultures into his way of doing business. Yeah,
he has a real good grasp of like the American culture and the American feel and atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's every day's entertaining working with Ken, and I'm sure it was when you were working in Hawaii with him.
Right.
And I wish he could have been on the program today, but he's
it's too bad.
He's out researching Blu-ray.
Oh.
Very exciting. So shifting gears to Assassin's Creed, which is a game that we got sent to the office about a week ago from the fine folks at Ubisoft, or UBI as the Japanese say. And they know that our special relationship with the Assassin's Creed team, because Mr. Kojima and Mr. Shinkawa and we're all very big fans of the game and of the team. And we've been looking forward to this game ever since they announced it last year. So I thought I'd just use this opportunity to talk a little bit about our impressions of the game. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. So I've got a list of things that I wanted to address just after playing it over a weekend. I haven't finished the game, so this isn't like a full review. But I felt like I owed it to listeners who probably have an interest in this game, because it has some similarities with MGS, and as a favor to the team over at Ubisoft Montreal, who were kind enough to send the game. So played the game on last Saturday and put it in the PS3, and from the get-go, just really impressed with what they were able to accomplish on a technical level on the PlayStation 3. Things that we're struggling with every day to make perfect in MGS4. You can tell that they put a lot of effort into it as well. Like the backgrounds, for example, what we say Heike, or like the 3D environments.
Right.
Really well done. They're massive. They're popular with hundreds of people. They feel alive. It's really incredible. I mean, you can jump from building to building, and it all looks very fluid. And like the animations, I think that seems like that team's something that they really excel at is the animations. And our animation team came over and watched, and like, wow, that's definitely the guys who made Prince of Persia. I don't know, did you ever play it?
No, I haven't, but I've seen screenshots, and I've actually seen some movies about it, and yeah, it was very fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell that that's really what it's almost seemed like their hobby, like just adding new animations here and then another animation here, and I mean, it's really cool. So brought in a lot of people from the team, and they were really interested in watching and seeing the game in motion. Not only the motion team and the 3D environment team, and just to see how Ubisoft Montreal approached basically like a true next gen title. And this is something that people have basically been waiting for, and something that people who bought a PS3 up until now and maybe haven't had a game that they can really show off to their neighbors. I think this is it. And so I can definitely wholeheartedly recommend this game if you have a PS3 or a 360 and you're looking to show it off. I mean, this is definitely a stellar title, especially for PS3. Do you have a PS3, or do you?
No, I don't, but my mom does. She beat me, so I'm gonna be picking one up soon.
Wait, your mom has a PS3?
Yeah. She picked it up a couple of months ago, and so when I went back to Hawaii, we played a few games like late into the night. But
She's
yeah,
a hardcore mom. So what's she playing? Like Mina no Golf, or?
No, she likes racing games and she likes FPS games too. So yeah, that's one thing I'm looking forward to when I go back in December. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, and this is something that sounds like I want to pick up too when I go back. So
no, I think it's a good game, and I was surprised because on the eve of us recording this program, some reviews started coming out, and some like average scored reviews for Assassins, and I was like really surprised by that, because obviously a lot of people were talking about Game of the Year for this. This is one of the candidates for Game of the Year up until this point. And some reviewers have been knocking the game. And the game isn't perfect. I mean, that's for sure. Speaking as a former game reviewer, I hate to see our industry go into this mode of just criticizing and kind of picking apart things that games don't do perfectly, and not emphasize what these games do really great, and what new things these teams are attempting. Right. And I think the Assassin's Creed team should be recognized for attempting to do something different, basically. Right. I think they could have made Prince of Persia 4 and got 9s and 10s. But is that really what you wanted? I mean, this is a totally new franchise, totally new world, totally new story. And it's a new experience that you're not going to get on by playing any other game this year. And I think in that sense, the team, in my mind, has succeeded, and I'm really proud of what they did. So that's kind of my quick review of the title.
Yeah, that would be a shame if people were turned off due to some negative comments. But if they can have a new experience, I think that's great. I mean, that's what it should be about. It's new challenges and new.
Yeah, I mean, as much as game reviewers and people like me, when I was a writer, we would complain about how there's always sequels and it's just more of the same. And then when a team attempts to do something new, you throw them a 7. I just don't think that's cool. So I have to respectfully disagree. Actually, to some of my friends who are reviewing this title,
Right.
I think they're kind of missing the forest for the trees, really. So that's my quick review of Assassin's Creed. So if you have a PS3, definitely pick this up. I recommend it. So moving on to the mailbox. Did you want to do the honors? You want to read the mail from Immortal from England?
Okay.
Because people get tired of listening to my voice.
Okay, let's see. From Immortal England, this is slightly off topic in regards to MGS4, but my question is about learning Japanese. In your opinion, what is the fastest, most effective way to learn it? Podcasts, reading, or a combination of both? I'm an 18-year-old and hope to move to Japan, hopefully in my mid-20s.
Immortal from England. So I thought this was a perfect opportunity. I saw this email today. You're coming on the show, so that's why I pulled it. Because, I mean, I think I've talked about a little bit in the past how I study Japanese. But you want to give some pointers? Because there's a lot of people who listen to this show and they send in questions like that. Like, how do you...
I first learned, well, basically through anime. And subtitle anime, and actually it's the best way to learn through something that you're interested in, because then you retain it.
Right.
And so as you're listening to like the ongoing dialogue in the anime, you're reading the subtitles and you're subconsciously teaching yourself how to speak. So I think that's probably like the easiest way. I mean, granted that your speech may not be, my speech was like very rough, like almost like a guy when I first started. So, but you know, that's, you've got to start somewhere. And I think that's, you know, picking up from something you have interest in is the best way to go.
So you started with Japanese voiceovers, English subtitled anime.
Right.
And so you didn't have any like formal like lessons or grammar?
I did have 4 years in high school. However, I was already exposed to language at home, and so basically it was like learning kanji at school. But I think constantly exposing yourself to like the audio portion is really important. Just training your ear is important.
Because that's what I found. I actually came over with my best friend to Japan almost 4 years ago now, and he hadn't studied Japanese at all in high school or at university either. So when he came to Japan, he really didn't have that foundation to build off of, like the structure, the sentence structure. And even if you have a little bit of lessons about how Japanese create sentences, I think that's a really good place to start. And then you build on it from there. Because obviously you did the same thing. And that's the same thing for me. And I'm talking about my best friend. I think he's really struggled about that for the first 2 years where he didn't know where to start. I mean, he's picking up different words, but he doesn't know how to create a sentence.
Right.
And so that's my advice, at least to the listener, that anime is good, maybe podcasts are good. I learned through games, but definitely you want to have that foundation, right?
Yeah, I know a lot of people who learn through games. Yeah, learn English or learn Japanese, right? Yeah,
I mean, for me, it was I picked one game and I just studied the hell out of it. Like every single line of Japanese that was in it, like I wanted to retain. And it was a game called Phantom Dust on Xbox. And I played the Japanese version and I played it all the way through. And then played the English version, and then it started to click, right? So I know exactly, because I knew the game so well, and I played it online every day, that I knew what Japanese character they're referring to, and so when I saw the English, it kind of reinforced it. Then I went back to the Japanese, and then I played the English version, and so it really solidified a lot of these different kanji and these different vocabulary words, many of which I can't use because it's like flaming sword and like psychotelekinesis or something, but
you never know when it'll come in handy.
Exactly.
Trust me.
Well, yeah, especially if you're watching anime, right? Because that stuff probably comes up. But any other pointers you have, or is that about it? Just pick up a lot of DVDs.
Yeah, that and basically things of interest. They always retain a lot easier. So yeah.
Do you listen to any Japanese podcasts? Because that's something I was thinking about doing moving forward. Is just I should, there's like a BBC podcast and there's The Economist and stuff in English that people use to learn English, at least in Japan. But do you know of any like NHK Japanese podcasts that you can listen to? And
actually, no, I didn't realize that there were any. Actually, because my iTunes is like the American version, I guess. Maybe I wasn't aware of the Japanese one, but it's good to always just expose yourself to the spoken word. So even though I'm not exactly paying attention, I have Japanese programming running in the background, so it's always like this input. So, but yeah, podcast would be a good way. If there was, I definitely listen to it. Yeah,
if any listeners have any recommendations, let me know, because I'm personally interested, and then I'll let people on this, all the listeners know as well. So
will do.
So this is kind of like a joint effort. This is a community here. You want to move on to the next one?
Okay, let's see. We've got a Cruz from South America. Is the one-up rumor about a new MGS game for PSP involving Snake in his early years in fact not a PSP game, but the film instead?
This is an interesting question, because I when I first was reading his question. I was like, yeah, okay, I know where he's going at. And then he's like, wait, is this about a film? I was like, well, I'm not really quite sure where that came from. But I think a few days ago, OneUp.com put up a list of rumors from their quarterman. And he's actually a pretty reliable source for industry gossip. And I think there was some kind of study that he's 60 or 70% right of the time. And this is one of the 20 or 40 or 30 or 40% times where he's wrong. Because there was no sequel to MPO in the works right now at Kojima Productions, Scout's Honor. So the boys over at OneUp.com, Shane Bettenhausen, who comes up with a lot of these rumors. Yeah, some of them are accurate, some of them are not. You know, just keep on trucking. That's all I gotta say.
Because it's good we got you to clear those up.
Yeah, see, this is why a weekly podcast is good, right? So, Christine, to wrap up the show, just want to preview next week's show. I'm going to have Corey Barlog from, well, actually a former member of the God of War team. When we recorded this podcast in Los Angeles a few weeks back, he was still a member of Sony Santa Monica, but he has since retired from Sony Santa Monica. So this is probably his last interview that he ever did while a member of the God of War team, which I'll be broadcasting next week. So
oh, wow.
that should be good.
Looking forward to it.
So. Again, thanks for joining me on the program. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
Have you back. Hopefully with some kind of announcement of a, of a European or American release of mobile. But we'll see how that goes. So, again, thanks for joining me on the program.
Thank you.